Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to ACDT number 61. Today is November 10th. We have basically the same items of the agenda as every week. And I think we should just get started. Starting with Fusaka, we had BPO1 activation last week. So the first topic I wanted to discuss is whether there were any events that were significant enough that we need to discuss this week. Um, Barnabas, do you know if we have if it was good transition?
We had no problems on the BPO2, but we have discovered a bug in Nethermind. Maybe someone from the Nethermind team can reach out and discuss what has happened.
Do you mean a bug relating with BPO2 or the release bug?
The release bug. Sorry, regarding BPO2, I think we were good. BPO1, BPO2 is this week. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
we had we added some bug fixes on top of the version 1.35.0. We released 0.1 with bug fixes, but these bug fixes introduced even worse bugs. So we then reverted to we released 0.2 version, which is on top of 0.0. And we already solved the bugs which were in version 0.1, but it was like under tested. We just released it too early. It was under tested, and we are going to do a release after mainnet fork with some known optimization and fixes. And right now we'll go with version 0.2, which we consider as good enough and more stable. And at this point, the stability is more important than having fixes of very rare bugs, etc. And we introduced, we had a broken snap sync because we introduced a regression in downloading block receipts and other code like a consensus bug. But it's we are going with version 0.2 now.
All right, thank you. Also, Barry mentions that there was also a red bug. Is someone from red in the call that would like to chime in? All right, I think there's no one from red. Do you guys know, Barry or Barnabas, do you know the context on this?
Yeah, I think the TLDR is they merged some changes that were supposed to be meant for block level access lists, but the changes ended up affecting the mainnet release before the fork. But I don't have any more details on the topic.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I think it's basically the same thing, right? From Nethermind. It would be nice if we can reach out to Red at some point to see if they're planning on making another release, just to make sure that the blog post is updated. I can follow up with them. Cool. Anything else from the Hoodie BPO activation or the mainnet client release that anyone wants to share?
There's one more that Sam found out, which was Lighthouse. It's a non-consensus critical issue, but Lighthouse is downloading the blobs from the checkpoint sync provider rather than fetching from peer-to-peer. So the team has mentioned that they'll fix it in a subsequent release, but it's non-consensus critical, so it's fine.
All right, thanks. Enrico?
Just one thing that I noticed 15 minutes ago. Our nodes are detecting some columns by route request via RPC on mainnet at the moment. It's kind of curious to see. I don't know if anyone else noticed those RPC calls at the moment. Yeah, nothing important, but just if anyone else, it's just a curious thing. Maybe there is some client, buggy client, doing this RPC request beforehand.
Do you have more info on where these requests are coming from, or?
I really 10, 15 minutes ago. I haven't dig into that at the moment, but I don't have the peer ID at the moment. I was just seeing these requests coming through. Yeah, just a curiosity.
All right, definitely needs to be investigated. Anyone else has seen this? Okay. No, I think this is not recorded any by anybody else. But I think we should follow up on this.
Yeah, well, I will write a message somewhere in Telegram or Discord and maybe run a thread on it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, and moving on, the next there's a comment in the chat that there was a halt from Nimbus on Fusaka.net 3. Do you
Yeah,
have more
so
context?
I noticed that on pretty much all Nimbus supernodes, the CL just stopped. It is not crashing, it just stops sending anything, stops receiving anything, stops logging anything, and this is with the latest mainnet release. So it's definitely something that they need to investigate.
All right, anyone from Nimbus in the call that just to make sure if you are aware of this issue? I cannot see anyone from Nimbus in the call. Can we follow up with this with them on with the Nimbus team via message or something?
We are already talking with them.
All right. Okay. Thanks. And just to say on that topic, is there anything else that's happening on DevNet 3 currently?
Yeah, a bunch of nodes ran out of disk. I did some maintenance today. I cleaned up some databases. I reduced the number of blobs. So hopefully we're not going to run into the same issue because the blob database size was over 530 gigabyte. So we were just spamming too many blobs. I reduced it now significantly. So hopefully we're not going to have machines running out of disk for the next month. And we should consider shutting it down once mainnet is forked.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Does it mean that so we're spamming a lot of blobs in this network? Does it mean that we are not cleaning up correctly after the time period where they should be cleaned up?
Not really, because at 20 blobs per block, 18-day period is supposed to be around 640 gigabytes, I think. And because we were spamming 20 blobs a block, all the nodes slowly started to run out of disk. All the super nodes. Full nodes have no issues, of course.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Anything else regarding all right, so we have someone from Red. Jen, do you mind sharing a little bit about the bug that you guys found last week?
Yeah, I just added the. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I had also issues with my mic.
Yes, perfectly.
I just shared also the release note. So the V191, that should be the release for Fusaka, which includes a patch. This came in with like an EVM regression. Yeah, as mentioned before, that was already introduced for preparation for polls. And yeah, we're taking measures to make sure we don't have any further such regressions. I've been talking to the testing team about tests to include.
Perfect, thank you. And I can see that the blog is already updated for this, so we should be good there.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. All right. Anything else Fusaka related? I think the only remaining things are we have to investigate the strange requests in mainnet. But anything else apart from that?
It would be good to hear from Prism team whether they would have a stable release this week, because right now they have a pre-release only for mainnet.
Anyone from Prism that would care to chime in right now? All right, I guess not. Could we follow up with them on AC? I mean, is it too late to follow up with them on ACDC, or what other avenue do we have on there?
Yeah, I already reached out to them, but I got no reply. So I'm not sure where everyone is from Prism.
All right, yeah, I think we have to maybe keep on trying to reach them. Otherwise ACDC, I think this is the next spot where we can find them. Hi Casey, yes, exactly. We were wanting to hear about the Prism release. If you can share.
Sure, yeah. Preston right now is working on putting a release together, so we've been soaking over the weekend and things are looking good. So we'll make sure to give an update in the Steel server. But yeah, we're looking at building that out into a release as soon as possible. Hopefully today. So yeah, we'll give an update in Discord.
Great, thank you, Okay. All right, anything else related to Fusaka? All right, if not, I think we can move to the next topic. So 60 million gas, I think we already discussed in the previous weeks that all clients are ready for 60 million on mainnet. So we can basically just jump into benchmark testing. Do we have anyone from Nethermind that can update on this?
Yeah, so we have branches from Nethermind and Geth with EIP 7904, and we did some like initial testing and yes, simply test and benchmarks are working as expected. And at this point, we need to generate all the new payloads to match the consensus rules after this EIP. So it's our next step. And after finishing this, we will be able to run a dashboard with like instances of standard Nethermind, standard Geth, repriced Nethermind, and repriced Geth, and compare the results. So like we are at the step where we need to generate new new payloads for these benchmarks.
All right, Thank you. And there's one comment.
Yeah, I can give the details. So testing 7904. So if you keep the same dashboards, you may see maybe a drop in the gas per second. So I guess what could be interesting if you want to check the difference between like current schedule and 7904, you may need to include TPS, which could be an interesting, yeah, an interesting metric.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else that needs to chime in, either on the repricing or benchmark testing? All right. We also have a call, I think this week, or is it next week, about gas repricing. So please also, let me see. When is the next repricing call? I think it's next week. Do we have?
Sorry, are you asking about the breakouts?
Yeah, I'm just generally about the gas repricing breakouts. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had two. We had one last week and one 2 weeks before, and now we don't have any else planned. Because it was an overview of all the IPs. I mean, if people find that the specific breakout for repricings would be helpful, I'm happy to schedule a few more, but with DevConnect coming, I think maybe it wouldn't make sense to do it right away. But yeah, we don't have any breakout schedule at the moment.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Is there recordings of this general repricing breakout?
There are. I'm happy to share after.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Yeah. If nothing else on gas repricing or state testing or benchmark testing, I think we can move on to Amsterdam. So the first topic is block level access lists. Anyone care to chime in on updating the current status? I think the main question is whether we are planning on launching devnet at the end of the month still.
Yeah, so that is still the plan, and Stefan is on his way to DevConnect right now, so he can't make it. But he asked us to get two questions resolved. The first one is if the block level access list tests are fixed, and I think Spencer's looking into it, and we might have been using the wrong release. So that's probably the cause. Yeah, Spencer, do you have any other information for that?
Yeah, so they're basically the most recent block access list release, the version 1.4.0, is different from the previous releases. Basically, previous releases were block access list specific tests, but this new, I guess, latest, the one that's that needs fixed, contains the block access list specific tests, and then also all of our existing tests refilled for block access lists. So I think there was a 7702 related issue with that release. There will be a patch for that in the next release. Also, we're running these tests right now in Hive, and all the blob tests are failing because we need to fix the BPO related configs on how we're starting up the clients for these tests. Anyway, I guess just a TLDR is that hopefully we'll have the next release either tomorrow or at the very latest on Wednesday, and we'll update Hive as well. And yeah, these should be fixed. So I think Felipe from Steel has been working on this the most, and he is out of office today, but he'll be back tomorrow. So there'll be some action for sure, either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Perfect. Thank you. And the second thing he mentioned was that Spammer has a basic EVM fuzzing scenario in there now. And even just running the basic spammer with this config in a local block level access list network kind of fix it immediately. There's an example of a failure on Nethermind. Stefan said he'll also repost the entire kurtosis config so that clients can look into it. But it sounds like it's very brittle right now. So it would be great if we can get some fixes in and we're ready to launch immediately, like the entire infrastructure set up. As soon as it's not as brittle, then we'll spin up the network. We were hoping to still do it on Wednesday, but I'm not sure if clients get time to fix it that soon.
Thank you. So what I can see from the results at the moment is that we basically the previous releases, they did not contain other things than targeted tests, right? So what happened now is that we are filling every single test that we had in the repository with block level access lists turned on, and now we have basically 1,000 tests at the minimum failing for every client. Something I noticed is that from debugging in the logs in the clients, I don't see that many of them are printing the full block level access list that they are expecting, right? So I think I don't know if this was discussed on the block level access list breakout, but I think we need to make sure that all clients do print if they find the block level access list hash does not match what they were expecting. It would be nice if every single client, at least on debugging, they would print the entire block level access list so we can easily debug and compare what the test expects versus what the client expects. So yeah, that was something that I wanted to share. Cool.
Yeah, I think
But yeah,
that
coming
was
back. Yeah.
it's kind of the same ask we had with the debug bad blocks endpoint. I think there also the request was to have not just the block level access list that you think is bad, but also what you generated. And I think Bezu's already done this, and Jared looked into it and said he will do it for Geth. I'm not sure about Nethermind and the other clients though.
Yeah, expecting.
everyone will edit. This was
Yeah.
part of the block of access list breakout call result. At the very end, all the clients agreed to adding that.
Amazing. Thank you. And coming back to the point of the devnets, I don't think we should launch until we get this number of failures on Hive to a very low number and more manageable, because we're certainly gonna find more things, and it's gonna be like breaking all the time at this point.
Yeah, for sure. We also don't want to launch it when like a basic fuzzer can take it down in half a minute or something.
All right. Yeah, thanks for the input. Anything else on block level access list that we want to share in this meeting? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So TLDR, basically just go to the Hive results page, look at your client, look at the logs, and please chime in. Also, of course, if there's anything wrong with the tests. So if you think you are in the correct, regarding rejecting a block level access list, please also chime in and with the testing team, either with Felipe, Tony, or Rahul, we can take a look at the test and also try to fix it if you guys think that the test is incorrect. All right, good. Moving on to ePBS. Is there anything a word of discussion today?
I can chat for a second. Hello.
We had the ePBS breakout call on Friday last week. It was pretty quick, but we discussed adding an off protocol value field to the execution payload bid structure. I think the name for this is execution payment. We also discussed including a previous Randall field in the bid, which is necessary, and calling process builder payments earlier in process epoch. That's still undecided. We plan to include these changes in the next spec release, maybe within like a week or two, and then devnet 0 will be based on that. I personally don't think that devnet 0 for ePBS will happen probably until mid-January at the earliest due to DevConnect and the holidays. So just keep that in mind. I know clients are still making good progress on implementations. And the next breakout call, which was scheduled for, I think, November 21st, has been canceled due to DevConnect. So I think the next one was, it is December 5th. I don't know, that's pretty much all I have, unless clients wants to give more detailed updates.
Thank you. Okay, any clients or any other updates? Yeah, I think that was basically it. Thank you, Justin, for the update. All right, I think that's basically the entire list of topics. The only other item in the agenda today is whether we are going to proceed or cancel with the next 2 weeks of calls. The next week is a little bit easier. Basically, is that connect week. A lot of us are going to be over there and discussing in person, so I don't think we should hold that meeting. The only open question is the week after that, because mainly because most people are going to be traveling. Some part of the ePandops team is also going to be offline the week after that. So I'm talking about specifically the 24th of November, the calendar. Is there any opposition on canceling that meeting? Should we or what's the sentiment?
Maybe not directly answer to this, but I think most of or at least a significant amount of the teams are actually experiencing some, let's say, bugs or not polished releases. And my general question is, how do you feel about that? I mean, there isn't that much time left to the mainnet, and well, the bugs are still there, you know. So, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, maybe just reiterating what Barnabas is mentioning. The question is how many of these are really Fusaka related versus could have happened in any major release. I do think for at least recent few months, we've kind of kept off on making major releases so that we can have everything merged into trunk branches. So kind of makes sense that the first release would have some issues or the other. The only thing we can hope for is we're working on a mainnet shadow fork so that we should be able to catch a few more of them before they go live. And I think it's also expected that clients would have a hotfix release if they do find anything. That's also one of the reasons why we have releases about a month before the fork so that releases can soak. We can have extensive rounds of testing and catch everything.
I'm just wondering, maybe there is some statistic on how much of like these large stakers or staking entities have a redundant setups, because just for example, data that was a bit mined on Udi, at least on my instance, I needed to resync the EL. So I mean, if the setups are highly redundant in terms of multiple clients are used by the same staker, redundant setups, then I think these releases that has some issues like we have now, maybe it's not a big problem. But if the setups are not that redundant and are not that diversified, then there could be some turbulence after the hard fork, at least based on the issues that we have now.
Yeah, for sure. We don't have exact numbers from everyone running every validator on mainnet, but at least for large staking pools, they tend to have a backup beacon node that they can fail over to. A lot of them use a testint vouch slash similar style of middleware proxies, where if is a failure in one node, you can define a strategy to fail over to a different node. And there's also SSV and OBOL style clients on mainnet. So I don't think the answer is 100% redundant, but it's not 0%.
Okay, sounds good then. Likely these issues will be covered by these redundant setups.
All right, and one comment from Barnabas that this is one of the smoothest testnet forks since the merge.
Yeah, I think so. Like we had many forks since the merge, and every single fork had some kind of bug here or there. I think Flippika has been one of the most stable since we started forking the testnets. And yeah, smoother than actual merge as well.
All right.
So I don't think there's much to worry about, to be honest.
Any other concerns that or opinions from other clients? Never mind. I mean, or Red. Did you guys experience the issues? If you want to share anything or
Yeah,
sentiment.
we released a fix for it like 12 hours after the release. We were a little bit ambitious in what we included in that initial release. But yeah, it's fixed now, and we're being a bit more cautious.
Maybe a follow-up question is we do still have some testing bandwidth now that the releases are shipped. We are focusing on shadow fork and then making sure that there are no high failures. But are there any other angles or specific things that we should be looking at that client teams are worried about? Because we can then try to prioritize that over the next weeks.
Do you guys do non-finality testing on a larger network?
Do you mean the like we had in September? We did a non-finality test round then, but we haven't repeated that right now.
Yeah, I think it would be valuable to have a last time just before the hard fork on the mainnet.
Okay, I think we can plan that in for after Dev Connect in that case. Yeah, we'll discuss that and get back to you.
Great, thanks.
I have a question. We probably do have it somewhere, but some stats for when hammering blobs for post PIRDAS in terms of like blob pool. Do we have that confirmed that everything is fine there?
Yeah, Sam's been looking into that and hasn't found anything worth surfacing right now, but part of the problem is the blobs kind of originate from us because we're doing the spamming. So it's hard to tell if there's a bug that is hidden because we're basically using testnet infrastructure.
Oh, I think going to Lucas' question, do you guys have like any dashboard where we can I mean, is there anything worth like or is this internal and you only surface if you find any bugs, or do you have like public metrics or
It's mostly just Zatu dataset data. We can share something, but yeah, the question is like what we're looking for.
So my question was mostly about performance degradation or like starvation or bandwidth starvation or latency spiking, things like that, because of just the high bandwidth usage of blobs per post Fusaka in mempool.
Okay, okay, got it. I think the Sunnyside Labs has some dashboards for that. We can share that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Any other concerns from clients regarding current status? And there's a question from Casey about private blobs and reorg heavy situations.
We also didn't notice any issues with private blobs. They did many tests when the relay was the only one seeing the blobs, and no other nodes were able to use get blob v2. So we didn't see any issues with that. Reorg heavy applications might cause issues with some specific ER clients. I'm not sure if we have fixed all of that. I remember Nethermind had deep reorg issues. They push out fixes. We haven't had a non-finality test since, I would say, maybe a month and a half now. So yeah, we can definitely redo that on devnet 3.
Yeah, and if I can jump in, one concern I have on the CL is that when we reorg, we exercise some pending block queue code paths that are not usually really exercised in tests that don't have these reorgs. So when we have a missed block, not only do we need to get the block, now we need to go get like a super node might need to get 128 column sidecars, and that can just put a lot more strain on the node. So I think that would be, if we have a way to test that in some of the test nets, that would be good. And for the private blobs, I'm wondering, are we continuing to test that like as we go through like Hoodie and so forth?
We are not. We're doing only on devnet 3. We don't basically participate on testnet, manipulating testnet data. We don't run any relays, so this would be up to the relay operators to submit private transactions. And yeah, I mean, they might have already done it. We do not have control over those.
Gotcha.
So if sorry, yeah, go ahead, Parthesh. Sorry.
There was one more bug now that we were talking about relays and Map Boost in itself. I've posted it here. Bharat, along with the new construct folks, dug into this. The issue was that if you have multiple relays configured, then there's a race condition. It's now been fixed, and there should be a release soon. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that one.
Okay, thanks. Just going back to the question of non-finality, are we doing that on devnet 3? At some point, it was the consensus.
We can do that, yeah. We can redo another one.
All right.
I would just
Perfect.
ideally want to have the Nimbus bug figured out before we trigger a non-finality. Because as far as I know, that's the only place where Nimbus has detected issues with this.
All right, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we wait until that one's fixed. If we already reach out to Nimbus, I think we should be fine. And then we try to trigger the non-finality entry. Perfect. All right. Any other comments from client teams? All right. If not, going back to the original question, so do we keep the call on 24 for ACDT or do we cancel? Or should we leave it open? Maybe you can leave it open and come back to it and all right, there's voting right now. Do we cancel or keep it? It seems like all right. Yeah, it seems like we are leaning towards cancel. So yeah, let's just cancel. So just to summarize, the week of the call of the 17th is going to be canceled, and the call of the 24th is also going to be canceled. We are back on December 1st for ACDT. All right, good. Any other thoughts on that need to be discussed today, or because that's everything in the agenda for today? All right. If not, I think we can end it here. Thanks everyone for joining. See you on the one raised hand. Casey, do you have last
Hi.
comments?
Yeah, since I said before that I would follow up on the Prism release, I did hear from Preston that he is planning on getting the release out today. So I think we can't expect that to be done today. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks everyone. And thanks for joining and see you in DevConnect or hear you on December 1st. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.